guys, it's Love Saloon here. Today I'm going to be showing you this super cute Far Olay bracelet created by Winnie Nagel on Instagram. I'll be sure to have her profile linked below so you can check her out and give her a follow. She has a lot of really cool designs and she makes some really cute owls also, so definitely want to check those out. This design takes approximately 120 bands or so, and it is a reversible design. So this is the signature side. And this does use the Space Invader stitch by Crazy Just Might Work. I also just did a tutorial on the Alice bracelet, which uses this same stitch as well. So this is reversible, as I mentioned. This is the back side, but I would wear it on this side personally if I wore it, because it looks like little hearts, which looks really cute. And this one, I did do two slightly different color combinations. I was trying to get the pattern down when I did this one, and I put a lot of black in it, but I still really like how it came out a lot. So you can do so many things with it. I have them upside down, sorry. So there you have it. With that rambling on, let's go ahead and get started. To make this bracelet, you do want to have a double-ended hook, and you'll also need one C-clip. I'm going to be making this exact color pattern today. I know it's little. So I'm going to use a total of 5 different colors. So you may want to get them ready ahead of time. So we'll start by doing a triple cap band instead of a regular cap band, and it just helps keep it tighter. So put it on, wrap it 2 more times, creating that triple cap band. We're going to grab that same purple again. We're going to pull it through the whole triple cap band, and then you're going to want to pick up the left part of the cap band. So skip the first 2 circles and grab the left part, and now reattach the one you were pulling through. Just got to fix that because it kind of flipped over a little bit. There we go. So now we're going to switch colors, and the band that I pulled through right now is going to be the white that is on this one. Excuse me. I am going to actually use gold. We're going to be pulling this through the first 2. We're going to skip the first one, pick up the outer one, reattach that gold. We're going to switch colors again, and that is going to be what is gray in this one. I'm going to use white. So we're going to pull it through the first 2 bands, skip the first one closest to your hook, pick up the outer band, reattach that white. We're going to slide it down so we can repeat this on this side. So you're going to take this first band off, and we're going to pick up the left part of the cap band. So skip the first one closest to your hook and pick up the outer part of the cap band and reattach that back on. I'm going to grab my gold. Where'd it go? There it is. We're going to pull this through the first 2. Skip the first band, reclaim the outer band, and reattach the one you're pulling through. And we're going to pull one more through, which will be my white, to match the other side. So pull it through the first 2, skip the first band, pick up the outer one, and reattach the one you were pulling through. You should have a total of 8 loops up here. So now we're going to switch colors, and the green on this bracelet is what we're going to be pulling through next. I'm going to use this specialty purple band. I think they're the Persian pack. So this is going to go through the 4 middle. So you can take these 2 end ones off and pull it through, or you can do like I am, pulling it through the first 6. And then I'm going to reclaim the 2 outer bands, and now I'll reattach that one I'm pulling through. I'm going to release these 2 out here so that purple sits in the center like that. So we're going to switch colors again, and this time I'm going to be doing the turquoise here. This is going to be the Space Invader stitch by Crazy Just Might Work. It might be a little hard for me to show, but hopefully you guys have seen it before. But when I tell you to pick up the 1st and 4th band, I'm going to be referring to this white one here and this white one here. And this was done in Winnie Nagel's Alice bracelet that I just filmed also. So grab your band, pull it through the first 5. We're going to move the 2 bands closest to the hook out of the way. So grab those 2, move them out of the way. You want to open that turquoise band up and we're going to pick up the first and fourth band from inside the turquoise. So you got to go down in there and scoop up that first one, skip the 2 gold middle, pick up the fourth one, and now I'm going to skip the 2 next bands and get the very outer white band and reattach the one I'm pulling through. So I do need to rearrange these 2. Pop that white over so the turquoise is sitting in the center, and it should look something like that. So the next step that we're going to do, we're going to be picking up this gold band here and this gold band here. So the 2 front bands there. So I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to go back to my first color, which was the purple. We're going to pull this through the first 5. We're going to swing our hook down and grab this front border band here, which is my gold. Come around to the left side, pick up that gold, and now we need to pick up the behind border band, which is the white one. Grab a hold of that, and now we need to attach this purple. Now when you attach that band you were pulling through, make sure it's not twisted. I actually twisted mine, so I need to put it on this way, just so it doesn't have that little twist in it. Okay, so now I need to rearrange these 2 because the purple should be the second band. Like that. So I'm going to grab my limited edition purple again. We're going to pull it through all 6. We're going to skip the first band closest to our hook, pick up the second one, skip the 2 middle ones, pick up the other side of that purple, and now reattach the end. So this is what it should look like right now. My cat band's a little funky down here, but don't mind that. Okay, so now we need to add on a couple more bands to each side. So I'll be going back to my gold. I'll pull this through the first 2. Skip the first band, pick up the outer one, and reattach that gold. Now I'll do my white for this side. Pull it through the first 2. Skip the first one, pick up the outer one, reattach the one you're pulling through. We'll slide it down and add the 2 on this side. You just have to keep in order which colors you're using since there's so many. So we'll pull this through the first 2. Skip the first one, reclaim the outer one, reattach that gold, and now I need my white. Again, we're going through the first 2. We're going to reclaim the outer band and put on the band you pulled through. So now we are at the start of our sequence again. So this is where I'm going to pull my specialty purple through the middle 4. So I'll pull it through the first 6. I'm going to reclaim the outer 2 bands, get them back on my hook, and I'll reattach the purple. I want that purple in the center, so I'm going to rearrange these 2 here. Okay, so now we're going to do the Space Invader stitch again. So I'll grab my turquoise. We're going to pull it through the first 5. You want to move the first 2 bands closest to your hook out of the way. And we need to get inside that turquoise band, scoop down in there and grab the first band and the 4th band that's inside. Sorry, it's a little tricky for me to show that. So now we'll skip the next 2 bands after those whites and we'll pick up the outer border band and reattach the one you're pulling through. Rearrange this so that's sitting in the center. And if you did it correctly, it should look like that. So now I'm going to be going back to my limited edition purple. But before we pull anything through, this is where we pick up the gold bands from the front. But it can get tricky because as you can see, this is actually the back of the bracelet. Or actually this is the front, but we need to be on the back of the bracelet. So we're going to have to actually slide it down and turn it around before we do that next part. Because see how this sequence down here has an upside down heart with my gold band. It has to be facing us when we do this part. So grab your band. We're going to pull it through the first 5. We're going to swoop our hook down and grab that front gold band. Come around to the left. Scoop up that front gold band and also scoop up the border band. You could grab those at the same time. And now we're going to reattach the purple. We're going to rearrange this so that that's sitting second. It should look like that. I'm going to grab my second purple, pull it through all 6. We're going to skip the first band closest to our hook and pick up the second. Skip the 3rd and 4th, pick up the 5th, and reattach that. Like so. So now I'm going to grab one of my gold. We're going to add 2 onto each side. So pull it through the first 2. We're going to skip the first band, reclaim the outer one, reattach that. Do the same with your white. Pull it through the first 2. Reclaim the outer band and the band you're pulling through. We'll slide it down. We're going to grab my gold again to match the other side, pulling it through the first 2. Skip the first one, reclaim the outer one, and reattach that. And I'll add my last one on. Pull it through the first 2. Reclaim the outside band and the band you're pulling through. So now we're at the beginning of our sequence again. So I am going to grab my purple specialty band. We're going to pull this through the first 6 bands. I'm going to reclaim the outer 2 bands and the band that we're pulling through. And I'll rearrange so that's sitting in the middle. So now we need to do our Space Invader stitch. So I'm going to grab my turquoise. I'm going to pull this through the first 5. Move the first 2 bands out of the way. Get inside there and pick up the 1st and 4th band that's inside that band you pulled through. Like so. Skip the next 2 bands and pick up the very outer band and reattach the one you were pulling through. I'll rearrange these 2 so that it's sitting like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my purple again. So this is where we are going to need to be picking up the gold. Don't forget at this point you need to make sure what side you're on. And as you can see, you don't see the little hearts. So I need to slide it down and turn it around before I do that step. See how they're being pulled up? Now I know that I can do this step. And don't forget, because I can tell you I have forgot many times and didn't even realize it. So I had to keep remaking it to make sure you're on the right side. Pull it through the first 5. You're going to swing your hook down. Whoops. You're going to pick up that gold. I'm going to pick up the gold on the left side, and I'm going to pick up the border band at the same time. See, I'm like on the front of the bracelet, and now I'll reattach the one I'm pulling through. Rearrange these 2 bands here so that purple is second. It should be sitting like that. So now I'll pull my second limited edition purple through, everything on my hook. I will skip the first one and reclaim the second one. Skip the 2 middle, reclaim the other side of that, and reattach it. I'm going to add 2 to each side. So I'll pull my gold through the first 2, skip the first one, pick up the outer one, reattach it. Same thing with my white. So I'll pull it through the first 2. Reclaim the outer one and the one I'm pulling through. We will slide it down and repeat. Pull it through the first 2. reclaim the outer band and attach what you're pulling through. And I'll do that one last time, pulling it through the first two, and we'll reclaim the outer band and the one that we're pulling through. So you should have 8 loops, and that is the start of your sequence again. I'm going to do it one last time, and then we'll close it up. So this time I'm not going to give instructions, I'm just going to go through it. Don't forget to turn it around before you pick up those front bands. Now after you reattach that band you pulled through everything, you have 4 bands on your hook. So I pull one more through all 4 of those to close it up. Like that. And then that's what you would attach your C-clip to. And there you have the Far Olay bracelet created by Winnie Nagel on Instagram. Please don't forget to tag her and tag myself, Loves to Loom, on Instagram if you make it. We'd love to see your rendition. You can also hashtag Far Olay bracelet. And we do want to give a big thank you to Crazy Just Might Work for her Space Invader stitch. We do appreciate it. I think you guys are going to love this design, especially once you see it in person. I know I love it. If you do, please hit the like button down below. I'd appreciate it. So thanks guys for sticking around. I'll see you real soon at my next video. Thanks. Bye.